Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Air Minagi's Route. So, we're going to be getting into the heavy crap right now, and you can probably expect me to cry a lot. So, let's just jump right back in. Were you surprised to hear my mom call me Michiru? The wind fiddled with Tono's hair. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Well, what did that mean? I did not hesitate to ask, because I didn't feel the need to be overly considerate. Michiru is my sister's name. Sister? Yes. Do you have any siblings? No, I don't. Oh. I was supposed to have a sister. Her name was supposed to be Michiru. Tono sounded as though she were whispering to the sunset. It was a gentle but sad tale, an endearing tale from a memory, a warm home with loving parents, a home blessed with the soon-to-be-born daughter called Michiru. With Michiru's arrival, this home would have gained even more happiness, but Michiru never came into this world. Tono dropped her sorrowful gaze. Why? My mom had a miscarriage. I see. Sorry for asking. I scratched my head, feeling awkward as hell. No, it's fine. Tono looked at me and smiled. But she became serious again and continued her story. It was after that my mom started living in her own dream. Her mind had become ill after losing Michiru. I was Daddy's girl. I was always with my dad, and I always played with him. My mom would sometimes look lonely when she saw us being so close. But I also loved my mom. I loved both my dad and my mom. I had always wanted to tell my mom that, but I couldn't. I couldn't find a way to. I thought she would realize it even if I didn't tell her. But she never realized that. My mom must have felt alienated. Ours was supposed to be a warm home and a loving family, but my mother was by herself. She must have had to live with loneliness. Michiru was supposed to be the one to fill the emptiness in her heart. But after she lost Michiru, she had no one to turn to. In the end, my mom chose to dream, and so I had no choice but to live on in her dream as Michiru. If I didn't do that, my mom would never accept me. And I also came to accept that, because I was the one who made her lonely. It was all that I could do for her. But even that dream is soon going to end. The air became still. In this endless sky, the clouds were stagnant when they should have been flowing. My mom always had the tendency. Thanks to her psychiatrist, she slowly was able to recover. And then, on the night you walked me home, my mother had a dream on her futon. A true dream born from sleep. In the dream, my mom accepted Michiru's death. According to the doctor, this isn't uncommon. In the dream, she came to know reality, and from the dream, she woke up to reality. It was a weird feeling, but my mom's dream ended suddenly like that. The end of her long dream happened in too short a time. It should be something worth rejoicing over, but I just couldn't be happy about it. Why not? I asked a crestfallen Tono. The next morning, my mom, who had awoken from the dream, asked me this. Who are you? The moment my sister disappeared from this world, I lost my place, because since then, I had always taken the role of Michiru. It's too late for me to return to being Minagi, who shouldn't exist anymore. I always had a feeling this might happen. I had prepared myself for that, but it still came as a shock to me. That's why... Were you looking for a place to belong? It's not that. A faint smile crept over her face. I'm waiting for the end here. The end? Yes. I'm waiting for the end of my own dream, in which I have always lived as Michiru. Night came in the sky beyond the mesh fence. Surveying the sky, I could see a bird wandering in the great distance. My wings have forgotten how to take flight. Watching the bird, she let out a sigh. All I had been doing was flapping my wings and pretending to fly. In time, I have forgotten how high the sky is, or even how warm the earth is. She looked as though she had given up on herself, and sorry guys, I'm wiping my eye. I'm crying. Do wings that can't take flight serve any purpose? Tono said, glancing my way. They must have lost all meaning. I can't return to the sky or the earth, doomed to wander forever. Just like that bird, I shall wander forever. Tono, but perhaps that's all for the better. Because I am not supposed to exist here. I felt that I should say something. In this moment, at that instant, I need to say something to this girl beside me, who can do nothing but stand in the sunset. If I don't, I won't be able to touch this girl anymore. I braced myself. Hey, Tono. I looked at Tono out of the corner of my eyes and said, Yes? I turned slowly to face her. Don't say that. Huh? Don't say that you don't belong anywhere. I wanted to tell Tono my feelings. There are people waiting for you, Tono Minagi. Don't ever say that you don't have a place to belong to. That was all I could say to her. You belong with me, don't you? I wanted to tell her that, but it was too embarrassing. However, feelings can't be concealed for long. So she must have understood my feelings. As a proof of that... Okay. Oh gosh, I'm like sobbing over here. Tono smiled at me. Behind her was a curtain of stars, spread out like the wings on her back. It was a sight I wanted to remember for life. I thought I saw Michiru's treasure, which Tono was holding, glitter momentarily in the starlight. After the sun set and the surrounding became shrouded in the darkness of night, the two of us left the school. Hey, I stopped walking just as I passed the school gate. Yes? Tono was holding a sturdy sports bag that middle-aged men loved. A high school girl in a sports bag. At first glance, it should be a fair fit, but this was Tono Minagi. Something felt out of place, or rather, there had to be something wrong. Is that observation equipment or something? I decided to check with her. No, it's not. She put the seemingly heavy bag down. I ran away from home. Ran away? Yes. I had actually thought about going on a trip alone, like you. But I won't do that. From today onward, I'm going to sleep at the train station like you. She said that quite nonchalantly. That's quite daring of you. Am I amazing? Nope. Go home. I said that in a commanding tone. I don't wanna. My order was ignored immediately. It was rare for Tono to express her intentions so clearly. I've decided. Decided what? I want to be with you two as much as I can. Both Michiru and you. You could do that without running away from home, right? No, I can't. Why not? There is not much time left. Huh? I told you, didn't I? I'm waiting for the end of my dream. My mom has woken from her dream, but I haven't woken from mine. I couldn't understand what Tono was saying. She looked dreamy, fragile, lonely, almost like a young child. Michiru. I looked at Tono and muttered that name. Does it have anything to do with your mother calling you that? Yes, she nodded. Well, what about the other Michiru? I wanted to ask her what Michiru was to her. A pal? A sister? Or... That's still a secret. A secret? Yes. I'll explain it to you in the future. But for now, I want to be together with both of you. Because I love being with the people I love. Minagi looked up at me and smiled. I had nothing to say to her. I couldn't say anything. So I turned around and started walking. Behind me, Tono followed with her heavy sports bag. I stopped and scratched my head. Jeez. I turned around to face Tono. Here, give me that. I snatched the sports bag from her. Let's go. I slung the bag over my shoulder, turned around and started walking again. Thank you, I heard Minagi's soft voice behind me. I pretended to not hear her and continued walking. Two shadows that stretched on forever. They overlapped and pointed toward our destination. Boop-a-doop. The hour grew late, and Tono and I slept in separate spots, with me on the bench and her in the waiting room. I could see through the glass wall of the waiting room that the clock had struck 1. Tono slept in the waiting room, and while I was on the bench, Tono kept proposing that I sleep in the waiting room with her because I'd catch a cold outside. Her reasoning was that she was the one imposing on me, so I shouldn't need to go this far. However, I still found it unacceptable. A young, healthy male and female sleeping under one roof, although we were actually outdoors, couldn't be viewed as proper. In that case, it's etiquette for a male to volunteer to sleep outside. Besides, I wanted to think about something alone. I still didn't want to ask Tono yet. There were many things I needed to think about alone. Under the sky of falling stars, I sat on the bench and thought about different things until my eyelids grew heavy. Perking my ears, I could almost hear Tono telling the tale of her past, the one I heard on the rooftop at sunset. Boop-a-doop. I was still a child. I had a place. 3 chairs around the dining table. My dad's, and my mom's, and mine. We were a close family that made it a point to have dinner together every night. Mine was a happy family that I could brag to others about. One day, when I came to the dinner table, I saw a small new chair. It looked too cute, and I wanted to sit in it, but it was too small for me. And when I looked at the chair in surprise, my mother said this to me: "She'll be born soon." At that time, my mother was carrying my sister. I was so happy. The more people there are to eat a meal together, the more delicious it is. I moved the little chair, which was next to my mother, close to me. My sister and I would be sitting side by side, and my mother and father would be facing us, smiling at us. I wanted to show my sister how close our parents are. "This is your new home," I wanted to tell her, as soon as possible. My sister was going to be called Michiru. It was decided at a family meeting. Our family decided everything through a consensus on everything every time. Naturally, I had a chance to speak as well. That's what a family is about. My father always said that with a smile. I loved it when my father said the word family. I loved it because it filled me with a warm feeling inside and made me feel at ease. My sister's name, Michiru, had the meaning of fill. May your futures always be filled with the beautiful calm. My mother told me that, but as a child I had no idea what it meant. I thought it was a wonderful name, Minagi and Michiru. Pronouncing those names alongside each other filled me with a certain peace. I wanted her to be born quickly, so every day I pestered my mother to bring Michiru here. Don't worry, God will bring her here soon enough. Then she would gently stroke my head. On another note, there was a painting in my home that had always been in the same place. This is a picture of God, my father told me. The painting was a picture of a girl with wings on her back. Is that called an angel? I loved that painting because the girl was beautiful. This girl would surely bring Michiru to us. I looked forward to the day I could meet this girl and Michiru. Michiru would be my sister. Would this girl be my friend? August 4th. And I am sobbing all over again. The next day, I awoke to the light of summer. When I cracked open my eyes, the rays bore straight into my pupils and made me wince. I squinted my eyes, and the endless summer sky shrank as well. Good morning. It was a voice akin to a soft pool of sunlight. Tono looked over at me. Why? Yes? Oh, yeah. For a moment, I didn't understand what Tono was doing here. What happened yesterday immediately came to me. It was our first morning since living together. Breakfast is ready. When I rubbed my sleepy eyes, a familiar fragrance greeted my nose. It was miso soup. This is my first time cooking rice with the mess tin. It took a lot of effort. She filled a paper cup with the miso soup and handed it to me. The ingredients for the miso soup were wheat bran and fried spring onions. Tono said she brought ingredients that wouldn't spoil quickly. Her sports bag seemed to be stuffed with things like that. And on my paper plate was white rice that was cooked much better than what I could ever do. Jesus. Perhaps Toto possessed better skills as a traveler than me, who had been traveling for a long time. That's really something, Toto Minagi. As I chewed on my breakfast, deep down I was complimenting this girl. When it was past noon, Michiru came running. The moment Michiru laid eyes on Tono, she couldn't hold back her smile and dove straight into her chest. Welcome back! Michiru rubbed her face against Tono's chest, expressing her joy with her entire body. I'm back. Tono stroked her head lovingly. I'm glad I made that wish. A wish? Yep. You see, I made a wish on the star sand for you to come back soon. Kunisaki Yukito told me to try that. He did. Tono stole a glance at me. What? Thank you. Minagi bowed. It's nothing worth thanking for. Are you embarrassed? I'm not. You're not so bad after all, Kunisaki Yukito. Well, thank you. Be a bit happier about it. Dummy, that's nothing to be happy about. Don't call me a dummy. You talk too much. My head is spinning. What now? Tono looked at me and smiled broadly. You smiled? Eh? It was the first time I saw you smile. That was a cute smile. I want to see it again. I turned my back on them. He's shy. I'm not. You're shy. 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 I turned back and poked both of their foreheads. This is the first time I've gotten a retort from you. She was happy. I'm going out. I turned my back on them again and walked off. I was hiding my embarrassment, because I was happy. Regardless of the reason, I was happy to be able to spend time with them again. And that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below and comment down below as well. If you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing you're becoming part of a legacy, and I will see you in the next video.